How does this choices in the plan, how are they made? What's going to make you decide we're going to go for 50% and hopefully they approve it, or we're going to go for 100%? Like, how are you making those distinctions?
Your income in a lot of situations. Because see, what this is the calculation that's done. They take your income minus your expenses, right? And whatever is left over, the excess as we call it. So let's say your excess is $500, then every month you basically have to, if you have to take that $500 and pay that into the plan, right? And so so basically all your debts are taken together. So your unsecured debts are calculated together, right? And then they'll say, and then they'll be chopped up into 60 pieces, and they'll say, okay, this
16?
is 60.
60
So,
months.
60, so 60
5
months.
years.
Yes, 5 years.
Oh,
Could be 3 also though.
Yeah, but it could be 3 also, so 36. But that's a different issue. So basically, then let's say they do that and they say, okay, well, it comes out to you have to pay $700 per month. So you have $42,000 in debt. So you have to pay $700 a month, right? But you only have $500 when you take when you subtract your expenses from your income, right? You only have $500. So basically, you can only pay. So that's 30 out. So that's what 30 out of 42. That's about 24.
75%. Whatever.
Well, yeah, it's basically like like 60 or something, like it's like 60% or something. So basically, that's what you would pay over the life of the plan.
Okay, so and you come to that agreement. What if is that going to be the agreement that you live through the life of the plan, or does it change throughout time? Say, for example, you get a promotion or you change jobs. How does that affect it?
It could.
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah. So let's say, I mean, today you're making $100,000, then your income goes up to $500,000. Then that could have an effect later, especially if you're not paying 100%.
If the plan is not 100%, every single year you have to provide tax returns to the trustee.
Yes.
And the trustee is going to look and see,
And they'll shift it.
Well, they'll see if you're making way more money now, then he's not going to be
then you can pay 100%.
Yeah, he's going to be you no longer need to pay 75. I would say I do way more math in bankruptcy than I ever expected in law school.
Yeah, but so I guess let's say, for example, you're in the 4th year of a 5-year plan, 6 months into the 6 months into the 5th year, right? So you only have 6 months to go. You've agreed to pay 70%, and you get a ridiculous price, like a promotion, right? Let's say you go up $50,000. How is that? You can't make the difference up that 30% in 1 year. So they'll just bring it up a little bit, or how would that work?
Probably nothing is going to happen.
Nothing,
especially that last year, because the thing is, by the time you get the income on your tax returns, but this is also you do mention, or you kind of allude to a different point. Let's say you're making 100 and you go up to $500,000, because see, you can calculate how much you will pay into the plan in total, right? Especially if it's a 100% plan, you can just go pay that plan off. Right? So you're like, I made all this money this year. I'm just going to pay the plan off, get the discharge.
Okay. And then when the discharge, so I guess what's confusing me is that on a 100% plan, didn't you just pay off your debt? Why do you need a discharge at that point? What does it matter?
That's like a technical term for at the end, but basically, yeah, you pay it off, and then the court just basically allows you to go.
Okay, so if you pay off less than 100%, you'll need approval. You'll need a discharge that needs to be approved.
Yes.
But if it's 100%, in theory, you will get the discharge because you paid off 100%.
But I also want to bring something up, like you're talking about discharge. For a lot of our clients, or at least my clients, discharge doesn't matter. Like if we're defending somebody in foreclosure and we'll file bankruptcy for them, a lot of the times we'll get loan modifications on their foreclosure loan. We'll get it approved by the court. They're good now. They're no longer in foreclosure. They're making their mortgage payments. They just don't want to continue with their bankruptcy and get the bankruptcy dismissed. But they accomplished what they needed to accomplish in bankruptcy. You don't always need to get a discharge, because there's so many things that you can accomplish without even getting. And probably more than half my cases get dismissed after I get a loan modification for them, because clients no longer want to continue with the process, but they got what they wanted to out of it, and the result is good regardless.
So
whatever.
for homeowners specifically, is that the goal of bankruptcy to get a loan modification, or are there other factors?
Depends, because you also have to realize, so obviously
Yeah.
mortgage rates are up, right?
Yeah.
So if you're at a 3% rate and you have arrears, it's better to essentially pay those arrears back at 0%. Continue paying at 3%, because for the life of your loan, if you do the math, you're going to pay much less. But if you get a modification, it gets modified at 6 or 7 or 7.5%, then you're going to pay much more over the life of your loan, and your monthly payment is probably going to go up. So we're seeing, and we've spoken about this on a number of occasions, we're seeing more situations where we say, okay, this client needs to go into a traditional Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and they need to pay it. They need to pay their arrears over the course of 5 years.
So basically, you have to keep track of everything that's going on in the world too, right? Like before COVID, and maybe for the first 1 or 2 years, the interest rates were super low. The interest rates are very, very high now. So if you apply for like a loan modification, probably you're going to get a super high payment, and you're not going to be able to afford it. So what Peter is saying, a lot of the times we advise our clients now, unless there's no other way, not to apply for loan modification, but simply pay the arrears back in a regular Chapter 13 plan.
Okay.